just to give you a little bit of my background, I have 20 years in the laundromat industry, primarily on the self-service side. I worked for the parent company of CleanRite, which is Laundry Capital, for 20 years. I also owned my own laundromats personally. And when we got into the business over 20 years ago, the business was primarily self-service. And by self-service, the customers came in, they did the work themselves. And that's why you have these massive facilities with tons of machines, which is a capital-intensive business that the price to get into has continuously gone up over the years. And one of the phenomenons that we saw, over the last 5 years and then accelerated greatly by the pandemic, is this massive conversion from self-service to full-service laundry, which is the wash and fold or fold and fluff, drop-off laundry. There's a number of different terms for it out there, but it's basically where you come in, you don't want to spend 2 hours doing your laundry yourself, you drop it off, somebody does it for you. We've seen, without any real desire to grow that business or marketing or any attempt, CleanRite over the years has seen that business grow from virtually zero to now it represents 20% of their business. And if you do industry research, you can see that that's a similar phenomenon going on and a trend in the industry. And the trend is forecasted to experience hyper growth going forward over the next 5 years. So when we saw that, when I was with CleanRite, we saw the writing on the wall that this business is ripe to be disrupted. Because like I said, we didn't do any marketing at CleanRite, no pickup and delivery, really didn't focus on this and still grew. So we see the younger generation valuing their time a lot differently. So we understood that this business is going to change rapidly over the next decade. And after several attempts to do this internally at CleanRite, we realized that we weren't a tech company. It wasn't our core competency, and we weren't going to be able to execute it well and disrupt ourselves. There was a lot of internal conflict. So the founder of CleanRite and I decided to launch a venture capital fund called Clean Ventures, which targeted tech-enabled companies that were going after this sector of the laundry business and dry cleaning services industry. So we made a couple of small investments, and then in my research, I came across Mr. Jeff, and I was blown away by what they were doing around the world. They had targeted every pain point that we saw in this industry, all the areas that were lacking in terms of marketing and technology, and going after where the over-the-counter business, which had been neglected, and also providing a low cost of entry into this business that's been desirable for so long. So we decided to make a substantial investment in Mr. Jeff through the fund. I also invested personally, and we also agreed to help them launch in the US. And as we started that process, the demand and the attention and the interest in Mr. Jeff here in the US was so great, and the traction began to accelerate so fast that we decided that it would be best served if I moved over from the fund to basically run the US market for Mr. Jeff full time. So that's where I am now. So I'll go to the first slide. This is a little bit of what I was just touching upon, but you can see the projected growth in the service side of the industry. So laundry care, which encompasses dry cleaning services, wash and fold services, and cleaning of household items, are going to grow in all categories exponentially over the next few years. And with that, I didn't talk much about dry cleaning, but dry cleaning on these two industries have, for some reason, existed separately for many years, but dry cleaning was on the decline and then absolutely decimated by the pandemic. So the ability of Mr. Jeff to incorporate dry cleaning on site through an eco-friendly wet cleaning process is brilliant, and the time is right, and adds another arrow in their quiver to attack and disrupt this industry. So the business opportunity, everywhere in every retail presence, you've seen Amazon or other online services, pickup and delivery, app-based services, obviously growing at exponential rates. And that's in industries that were kind of staying current. The laundry industry was notorious for lagging behind in terms of technology and digital marketing. So the gap is so great that the ability to disrupt this industry is inevitable, and the laundry industry is basically a virgin landscape for all of the tools and all of the core competencies that Mr. Jeff brings to the table. Why Mr. Jeff? And this slide really speaks to Mr. Jeff in comparison to maybe you're looking at other franchise systems. So, and here are some of the compelling reasons. Very low cost of entry. We charge a very reasonable franchise fee of $25,000, and we, as opposed to that $1.5 million that it may take you to get into the traditional laundromat industry, or if you're looking at some of the traditional McDonald's type franchises that are very expensive, you can get into a Mr. Jeff box as low as $125,000 all in. The fixed cost for the fee, we believe in strongly. So instead of charging a percent of top line revenue, Mr. Jeff just charges a flat $1,000 platform fee, and then you get the benefits of all their tech suite. You get the Jeff Academy, which is a training module for everything you need to do to learn about how to process clothes, to how to run a business. You get the Jeff Suite, which is a business management platform, POS systems and credit card processing, and then also the digital marketing platform and chatbot, which Aaron will show you later, which is extremely powerful. You have a global brand where across 30 countries all over the globe, and have sold over 2,000 franchises worldwide. So you have really great branding power across the world, and now we're going to bring that power here to the U.S. So I touched on this earlier. The core competencies of Jeff that I found when I was doing my due diligence for our investment hit on everything that the laundromat industry was lacking. From the digital marketing to the POS systems to the business management suites to run scaled laundry operations, logistics management, a driver app. All these things are really desperately needed in the industry, and this is what Jeff really specializes in. So the other aspect is focusing on the biggest pain point in the industry, which is the over-counter wash and fold. This has been neglected for decades in the laundromat industry because it's an industry built on self-service, and it's built on basically supported. The equipment manufacturers are dominant in the industry, and they make money by selling a lot of machines. The Jeff model disrupts that in terms of you don't need to buy a lot of machines, and you can run a lot of volume of laundry through, just a few machines. The other aspect of the Jeff system is it bridges the gap between offline and online. So clothes are very personal to people, and so the small bricks and mortar presence is extremely valuable, because especially the first time or first couple times, a lot of people want to see where they're leaving their clothes. They want to see a friendly staff. They want to be able to talk, communicate their preferences, make sure it's clean and it's a good, solid operation. I always say that, a lot of people focus on average tickets of items to equate to value, but in this business, it's very different, because you may be only paying $30 for a service, but you could be leaving close to $1,000 worth of clothes in a bag that you're leaving with somebody. You need trust in that person. So that's critically important, and especially those initial exchanges. And even beyond the monetary value, clothes are very personal to people. So you could have a favorite pair of jeans that fits you just right. Somebody shrinks those, it's irreplaceable. Or your favorite T-shirt or lucky T-shirt, things like that are critically important, and that's why the online presence really works well. And then the last point is capitalizing on the pickup and delivery trends, which again, laundry is way behind the time, so there's a massive opportunity to capitalize on this. The partnerships and relationships you'll have. So once you sign on as a franchisee, you'll get a partner success manager, a dedicated account rep that'll help you through every step of the process, from finding real estate, evaluating the site location to make sure it's going to be a viable location and good for the business. All the equipment, from laundry equipment to the wet cleaning equipment, all the supplies you'll need, from bags and laundry detergents and so forth. We'll also help with the design and construction of the space. We can either just give you all the specs that you need and you can hire your own contractors, or we can introduce you to a turnkey provider as well. We'll hook you up with local marketing agencies that can help execute any marketing that you do, as well as the marketing chatbot, which will automate a lot of your marketing needs, especially online. And then the last point is about introducing to lenders that can help you get funded to get going in the business. So why now? I think touched upon the first point in depth, but there's a boom in on-demand laundry services, and Mr. Jeff is, in the pole position to really take advantage of that. And you as a franchisee have a decided advantage over a lot of these other companies that are marketing companies that are acquiring customers, but they outsource the laundry, so they can't control the quality. And that's the magic bullet here, is the franchisee making sure the quality is up to par. The other reason why now is where we just launched in the US, so we still have all the prime territories available, but they're not going to be around for long. We have a lot of interest, and we're really looking to find the best franchisees to get out of the gate and represent the brand really well. And selfishly, we want them to be uber successful, because that essentially will become our sales force. So the early franchisees come in, they're going to get a lot more support because we have a lot more resources to deploy, as opposed to when we have thousands of stores in the U.S. And and you're going to get access to the best areas that everyone is sought after, right, in the laundry industry. The low initial fee right now of $25,000 is about as good as it's going to get in terms of value. And then there's still opportunities for multi-unit and to basically take a territory that you can grow into. And the last point is the ability to buy directly from us, a first generation Jeff space. Again, these territories are going to get taken up, and then typically what happens in franchise programs is then you have to go through business brokers and acquire franchises second or third hand from existing franchisees. So the time to get in is extremely beneficial to do it now.